A 33-year-old resort that's getting a facelift worth 10 times more than it cost to build? An off-strip property famous for shows in the sky, world-class poker tournaments, tomahawk steaks 50 floors up, and mini golf with Kiss.
Let's go to Rio before they tear the place apart.
So get ready, because this adventure starts right now.
On this hot July morning, we are zipping along behind the west side of the Strip, bound for a destination that many of you have asked us to visit over the years. Now is the perfect time because just a couple of weeks ago, its new owners announced details of their plans to reinvent it starting later this year. We are talking about, of course, the Rio. These two brightly colored towers have been a landmark on Flamingo Road since the 90s, and we couldn't be happier that they're getting a facelift. Before we park, though, let's take a look at exactly why this property, or part of it, was being considered for the Oakland A's baseball team. It's huge, almost 90 acres of land bordered by Flamingo and Twain, Valley View, and the railroad tracks. The stadium deal would have only occupied 22 of those acres. The Rio has a lot to spare. Also note how huge the convention space is, what's called the Rio Pavilion, but we're going to see that a little bit later on from the inside. The Rio opened on Flamingo Road back in 1990 with a 20-story hotel called the Ipanema Tower. It was the first all-suite hotel in Las Vegas, an $80 million project. It was built and owned by a local firm, Marnell Companies, and the theme was Carnival out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. 7 years later, the Masquerade Tower was added, 41 stories tall, and bringing the total number of suites to 2,520. I'm actually thinking that Flamingo Road wasn't quite this busy 33 years ago when the Rio opened its doors, but boy, did it make a bold statement then and now. The Rio wasn't the first off-strip resort in this area, though. The Gold Coast next door preceded it in 1986. And in 2001, the Palms moved into the neighborhood as well. Fast forward to 2023, and big changes are in the works for the Rio. After 2 decades of ownership by Harrah's and then Caesars, it's got new owners and they've got big plans. We step inside, and immediately to our left is the hotel registration. The checkout line is robust on this Monday morning. The Rio can be a good deal price-wise for your Las Vegas vacation, and don't forget, every single room is a suite. Let's take a walk through Rio's casino, one of the larger ones at over 117,000 square feet, and I'll bring you up to date on the latest. In 2019, the property was sold to Dreamscape Companies out of New York, which owns a number of hotels in other cities. Caesars is currently leasing it back, but the lease ends later this year, and Dreamscape will take over the operations. They've got an $850 million budget to completely renovate and remodel the Rio, and in an interesting twist, the original architect and builder, Marnell, will again be doing the design. Plus, we also read that Dreamscape is partnering with Hyatt, and at least one of the towers will be a Hyatt Regency. All right, here's a little nostalgia for you. Who remembers what these are? Back in the good old days, the Rio introduced their bevertainers, cocktail servers who would do a 90-second dance performance on these little stages. And at one time, there were actually more than 80 bevertainers. After this walkabout, our assessment is that this place has really good bones and it's definitely worth saving. It smells great and the public areas are spotless clean. Paula says, even the ladies' room looks terrific. The Rio has a Caesars race and sportsbook with plenty of screens, seating, and a wraparound bar close by. Just next to that is the poker room, but it doesn't seem to be set up just now. All the World Series of Poker action is down on the Strip, as we showed you in last week's video from the Paris. Lots happening in this hallway off the casino, past and future. We stopped into the very well-stocked gift shop to see what kind of Rio logo gear they have, and by the way, they have plenty. And we also got some great intel about future plans in the area. Who doesn't remember the famed Carnival World Buffet, at one time the largest in Las Vegas and known for its excellence? It fed 7,000 hungry diners every day, and now it's behind walls. Well, get this. Soon, the gift shop will become a Starbucks. This area will all open up, and the buffet space will become a food hall. The Rio is located just a few blocks from our Chinatown area and has a number of restaurants catering to international cuisines. KJ Dim Sum and Seafood seats 350, is open 7 days a week, and is also a local favorite. Over near the lobby, Pha Da Nang Vietnamese Kitchen offers authentic Vietnamese classics and Chinese-inspired dishes. Kang's Kitchen is the Korean barbecue venue at Rio. The colorful murals and artwork are as tasty as the food. Royal India gets our vote for most exotic entrance. This is an all-you-can-eat buffet of favorite entrees from northern India and even Indian beers and cocktails. This place has fantastic curb appeal. You already know that Guy Fieri always has a presence at Caesars Properties, and he opened this one in the Rio in 2016. El Burro Borracho, or The Drunken Donkey, is a fun and casual Mexican eatery with Guy's famous twists on the menus and the margaritas. We just love the theming, the artwork, and this taco shack right around the bend. Down the hall towards the convention area is a not-so-well-known location for a beloved restaurant chain with its heart in the Midwest, Hash House A Go-Go. This has to be one of the largest and most attractive hash house dining rooms. It is huge. In case you haven't experienced it, they serve farm-fresh, down-home meals in huge portions. The Rio outlet is open Thursdays through Sundays for breakfast and lunch. Also worth a mention is the All-American Bar and Grill on the casino floor, what's described on the website as a modern steakhouse. It's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. For steak with a view, though, consider VooDoo Steak up on the 50th floor of the Masquerade Tower. They'll make you a 32-ounce tomahawk for $2. There is also a Starbucks on property that is open in the convention hallway. And if your taste runs to rum rather than Java, Purple Zebra is just next to the front doors. With the food venues out of the way, we head towards our favorite part of the Rio, Masquerade Village. At its entrance is the obligatory bar, this one carrying through the Masquerade theming. This expansion was added in 1997 along with the Masquerade Tower. The most noteworthy part of it was the $25 million Masquerade Show in the Sky, which debuted in February of that very same year. Floats traveled above the casino floor along a 950-foot track, and by floats I mean showboats and gondolas, each weighing between 13 and 17,000 pounds. It was a spectacle, one of the great free attractions in Las Vegas. Sadly, though, it made its last run 10 years ago in March of 2013. The center of Masquerade Village is a casino populated with slots. But it was always the shops and businesses around the outer edges that were the draw. They're not as numerous as they once were, but still worth a look. The Cupola Cafe is an Italian eatery from chef Mimo Ferraro, open daily for brunch and on weekends for dinner. The kicker, though, is down at the far end of the casino floor. It's called Kiss World.
Step inside this brightly colored 13,000 square foot ode to the iconic 70s rockers. There is a lot going on right here. There's an arcade, an 18-hole glow-in-the-dark mini golf course that's part of the Monster chain. The world's largest collection of Kiss memorabilia out here in display cases. And even more in a little museum. This is definitely the place you want to go if you want to rock and roll all night and party every day.
Now, speaking of that, up the escalator on the second level of Masquerade Village is one more venue, the Rock and Roll Chapel. You can get hitched here with themed packages and rock star ministers. And let us recommend from experience, Smashburger makes a really good burger. They took over this space in 2016, one of 4 in the Las Vegas Valley. It's the smasher that makes the difference. All right, let's talk entertainment, my favorite subject, and we'll start right here with these guys. For more than 20 years, the sexy, party-ready Chippendales have been dancing up a storm and winning Best of Awards here at the Rio. This venue seats 400 and was built for them in 2004. Get this, it even has a gift shop. In contrast, down on the Masquerade Village first level, this venue opened just a year ago. It's called Duomo, a classic 286-seat theater featuring big-name acts, residency shows, and even a karaoke night. And in its first year, it already won a Best of Silver award. For more of a spectacle, there's Wow! The Vegas Spectacular. It's a combination of 3D projections, water walls, and holograms, plus 30 talented artists flying and dancing. It also has Best of Awards to its credit. Back in the main casino, the Comedy Cellar, the most successful, longest-running comedy club in New York, branched out to Las Vegas in 2018. It is famous for its showcase format, where each comic performs a 15 to 20-minute set in an intimate 300-seat club setting. You won't believe the big names that are on that wall. And last but never least, these two guys, whose images appear in mega-size on the side of the building, Penn and Teller. They started at the Rio in January 2001, and they broke and hold the record for longest-running headliner at a single venue ever. Their theater seats 1,475 and rivals the top-performing art centers in the world. Penn and Teller's show is edgy, provocative, hilarious, and creative. These two have earned the highest honors in show business, and Dreamscape just extended their contract to 2026. We're going to end our walkabout pretty much where we started. This hallway leads to the convention area, the Rio Pavilion. There are 160,000 or perhaps 220,000 square feet of meeting space, the sources vary, which can be configured in countless ways. From 2005 through 2021, the World Series of Poker at its home right here at the Rio. And for us, back when companies still held holiday parties, Paula's employer always had theirs at the Rio, and always with a great theme. Now, one more thing. The art along the convention walkway is extraordinary. We just had to snap a few photos as we went along. We just love to give a nod to the decor when it's so well chosen in place. My friends, it's the little things that make the Las Vegas resort stand out from the crowd.
So what did you think of the Rio? I'll tell you what, we have a soft spot for the place. Yeah, it's kind of gone downhill over the years, especially the marquee. I think that faded marquee is the thing that bothers me the most, because inside there's really nothing faded about it.
No, it actually looks really nice inside. You know what's funny? As I was walking around in there, I was telling her, I said, last time we were there, you couldn't move in that place.
It used to be such a packed, it was a deal. They were sweets, and of course the Carnival World Buffet, it had so much going for it. And I think sometimes, and this is one of those cases, change is good. Change in ownership. Caesars never cared about it. They never made any bones that they didn't really care about it. But these new folks, I think they do care about it. It's their first casino resort. They've had a lot of successful hotels. They have a great track record, but this is their first casino. So I think they're going to give it a lot of loving care.
Yeah, I think it's really going to work out. And the other thing is, when I found out that Penn and Teller re-signed with the company, and this was before we got this information that came out, I knew something was up right then.
Exactly right. This is a really good sign. Those guys are super successful. And I'm just happy that all of our cool memories from the past, all those holiday parties that we went to. What did you think about young Dale and Paula? Or younger Dale and Paula?
Younger, you know, with a little bit of hair, more hair and darker hair.
A little bit more dark hair, yeah.
So how about that Kiss place? Let me tell you something. If you like Kiss, or even if you don't like Kiss, this place is amazing. That golf course is just
amazing. Yeah.
It's just something else. And then there's an actual museum. It's just full of Kiss memorabilia. And then there's a couple things that you can actually buy.
And we know there's a lot of you out there that are old rock and rollers like I am, and I think you would really appreciate that. Is really a well done attraction.
Yeah, and what did you think about that announcer there that was doing the over voice?
Oh, that monster guy.
Oh my God, what a voice. He's amazing. Anyway, it was really nice in there. We actually were going to eat at the Rio. Now, I'll tell you a downside that we had a problem with. The prices in the food areas were just extraordinary.
We ended up leaving, yeah. Actually, we were going to try Guy Fieri's place. We actually sat down.
El Burro
Borracho, or what? Yeah. And then we were even looking at the All-American Grill, and we walked around a couple of the Asian places, and we said, you know what? No.
So we left. But anyway, the whole entire property is amazing. I think once they get their act together and they start working on it, I think we're going to get some artist renderings, and we'll see what they're actually going to do with the buffet area. I think that it's really going to be a nice place to go. And it's a beautiful, beautiful off-strip property.
And it's humongous. Plus, parking is free. I hope it stays free.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, the best part. All right, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification button. Anything else you want to tell these nice people?
Miss Paula.
I think that'll do it for today. Thanks for coming to the Rio with us. Keep cool out there.
Hope you had a good time. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.